Emily lived alone in a small duplex on the edge of town, where every night sounded the same: distant cars, humming refrigerators, and the occasional dog barking through thin walls. She liked the predictability. It made the silence feel safe. Over the last few weeks, though, something had been chipping away at that safety. Her keys ended up on the wrong hook, a framed photo turned slightly sideways, a blanket folded in a style she never used. She blamed stress, long shifts at the clinic, and told herself she was being dramatic. The first time something vanished completely, it was her hairbrush. She searched every room twice and went to bed annoyed. The next morning, it was back, dead center on the dresser, aligned perfectly with the edge, as if someone had measured it.
At work, she showed her coworker the photos she started taking of her room before bed, little before and after shots. In one picture, a pencil rested near the edge of her desk. In the next, from the next morning, the pencil was gone and replaced with another, sharpened to a clean point. "You're sleepwalking," her coworker said, "or you've got a ghost that really hates clutter." Emily tried to laugh, but her voice sounded thin. On the drive home, she kept checking the rear-view mirror, half expecting to see someone in the back seat. That night, she moved a small plant to the middle of the hallway floor and took a picture. If it moved, she'd know. When she woke up, the plant sat neatly back on its shelf, and the photo she took was gone from her phone's gallery.
She changed the locks, checked every window, and shoved a chair under the front door handle before going to bed. Sometime past midnight, a faint metallic clink pulled her from sleep, followed by a slow, careful creak of floorboards near the kitchen. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. She grabbed her phone, switched on the flashlight, and stepped into the hallway. The beam slid over family photos, a crooked painting, empty doorways, and then froze on the kitchen table. Her favorite mug sat there, steaming with fresh tea. It was the one that had vanished 2 weeks ago. The back door was locked, and all the windows were shut. Yet a cool draft curled around her ankles, disappearing just as she whispered, "Who's in my house?"
Sleep became a series of shallow naps. Each morning, something was fixed for her. Laundry folded, dishes washed, shoes lined up by size. It felt less like a haunting and more like someone politely living beside her. She started leaving sticky notes on objects. "Don't move this. Leave this here. I see you." In the morning, the notes were still there, but her handwriting was carefully traced over, as if someone had slowly practiced copying it. That afternoon, she bought a cheap clock camera online and set it on her dresser, facing the room. If there was someone inside, they'd finally be on video. She talked to the empty room before bed. "If you're here, you need to stop." The recording ran all night while Emily lay awake, back to the wall, pretending to sleep. Around 3 a.m., exhaustion finally dragged her under. The next morning, the clock was still there, blinking calmly, nothing visibly disturbed. She transferred the footage to her laptop and fast-forwarded. Hours of nothing. Then, at 3:19 a.m., a dark shape slid into view at the bottom edge of the frame. Something long and pale eased out from under the bed. An arm, then a shoulder, then an entire body. It was a woman in Emily's old sweatshirt and pajama pants, moving with slow familiarity. She walked to the dresser, adjusted a picture, then turned toward the bed. In the grainy footage, her face looked almost like Emily's, but thinner, hungrier, eyes too wide and unblinking as she watched Emily sleep. Emily's hands shook as she paused the video. She rewound twice to make sure. Same strange, familiar face, same slow movements, like someone who'd practiced her routines for months. She called the police and her landlord, voice cracking as she tried to explain there was someone living in her house. The landlord mentioned, almost offhand, that the previous tenant, a young woman, had vanished without officially moving out, leaving most of her things behind. She was paranoid too, he said, always calling about noises. When the police searched, they found a narrow opening in the back of Emily's bedroom closet, leading to a cramped crawl space between the walls. Inside were blankets, food wrappers, and a nest of her missing belongings. Her old clothes hung neatly on a nail, as if someone had been carefully dressing like her. That night, Emily stayed with a friend.